evening, fellow YouTubers. It's Kenneth Powers, and I'm back here for part 7 of my DVD Blu-ray Update 2021 edition. Well, without further ado, let's get started. First up is the 2008 DVD Blu-ray release of A Christmas Story. Here's the front, the back, and the spine. Starring Melinda Dillon, Darren McGavin, and Peter Billingsley. Directed by Bob Clark. The film itself is from 1983, rated PG, and runs 93 minutes. Next up is the 2017 25th Anniversary Edition Blu-ray release of A League of Their Own, starring Tom Hanks, Gina Davis, and Madonna. Here's the front, back, spine. Also starring Lori Petty, John Lovitz, David Strathairn, Gary Marshall, and Bill Pullman. Directed by Penny Marshall. The film itself is from 1992, rated PG, and runs runs 127 minutes. Next up is the 2017 Blu-ray release of A Monster Calls, starring Sigourney Weaver, Felicity Jones, Louis McDougall, and Liam Neeson. A masterpiece, breathtakingly beautiful, says Sean O'Connell of cinemablend.com. Here's front, back, and spine. Extraordinary, says Peter Travers of Rolling Stone. Also starring Toby Cabell. Also starring Toby Cabell. Directed by J.A. Bayona. The film itself is from 2016, rated PG-13, and runs an hour and 49 minutes. Up next, we have the 2019 Blu-ray release of the 2018 remake of A Star Is Born, starring Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga. Here's front, back, spine. Also starring Andrew Dice Clay with Dave Chappelle and Sam Elliott. Directed by Bradley Cooper. The film itself is from 2018, rated R, and runs 136 minutes. Up next is the 2014 Blu-ray release of American Hustle, starring Christian Bale, Bradley Cooper, Amy Adams, Jeremy Renner, and Jennifer Lawrence. 10 Academy Award nominations, including Best Picture. Here's the front, back, spine. Winner of Golden Globes. Winner at the Golden Globes for Best Picture. American Hustle is the Best Picture of the Year. It is a series of astonishments and flowing tribute to the love of movies themselves. All of the actors take enormous risks and form an ensemble that is the equal of anything from Hollywood's golden age. David Denby of The New Yorker, also starring Louis C.K., Michael Pena, and Alessandro Nivola, directed by David O. Russell. The film itself is from 2013, rated R, and runs 138 minutes. And up next is another film starring Bradley Cooper, which is the 2015 Blu-ray release of American Sniper, starring Bradley Cooper and Sienna Miller. Directed by Clint Eastwood. 4 stars, says Kyle Smith of New York Post. There's front, back, spine. The year's most extraordinary film, says New York Post. Clint Eastwood has realized the full potential of this riveting story, says Leonard Maltin. The film itself is from 2014, rated R, and runs 132 minutes. Up next is the 2008 Blu-ray release of the original 1979 horror classic, The Amityville Horror, starring James Brolin, Margot Kidder, and Rod Steiger. Here's the front, back, and the spine. Also starring Murray Hamilton. Directed by Stuart Rosenberg. The film itself is from 1979, rated R, and runs 119 minutes. Up next is the 2017 Blu-ray release of An Officer and a Gentleman, starring Richard Gere and Deborah Winger. Academy Award winner, Best Supporting Actor, for Best Supporting Actor, Louis Gossett Jr. Here's the front, the back, and the spine. Also starring David Keith, Robert Loggia, Lisa Blunt, Lisa Eilbacher, directed by Taylor Hackford. The film itself is from 1982, rated R, and runs 124 minutes. Up next is the is the 2019 Mill Creek release of Anaconda, Blu-ray release of Anaconda, starring Jennifer Lopez, Ice Cube, John Voight, and Eric Stoltz. Here's the front, the back, and the spine. A slick, scary, funny creature feature, says Roger Ebert of Chicago Sun-Times. Also starring Jonathan Hyde and Owen Wilson, directed by Louis Losa. The film itself is from 1997, rated PG-13, and runs an hour and 29 minutes. There's something very odd at the end of this film. At the end of this release, they used the Sony Pictures Television logo at the end of this film. Very strange. So anyway, up next is the (2014) Director's Cut Blu-ray release of Any Given Sunday, and it also includes the original theatrical cut on DVD. Anyway, the movie stars Al Pacino, Dennis Quaid, Jamie Foxx, Cameron Diaz, James Woods, and LL Cool J. The most earth-shaking game of football ever put on film, says David Anson of Newsweek. Also starring Matthew Modine, Charlton Heston, Anne Margaret, Aaron Eckhart, and John C. McGinley. Directed by Oliver Stone. The film itself is from 1999. Rated R. Both versions are rated R, and the director's cut runs 1 hour and 57 minutes. The original theatrical version runs 1 hour and 63 minutes. Up next is the Up next, we have the 2-disc special edition Blu-ray release of Apocalypse Now. Includes Apocalypse Now and Apocalypse Now Redo. Here's the front, back, spine. Both versions of the movie star Frederick Forrest, Albert Hall, Sam Bottoms, Larry Fishburne, he was going by Larry, not Lawrence at the time, Dennis Hopper, Sam Bottoms, Christian Marquand, Aurora Clement, and Harrison Ford. Directed by Francis Ford Coppola. The original version of the film is from 1979, rated R, and runs 153 minutes. The redo version is from 2001, rated R, and runs 202 minutes. Up next is the 2019 Blu-ray release of Aquaman. Here's the front, back, spine. An adventurous visual spectacle, says Brian Truitt of USA Today. Starring Jason Momoa, Amber Heard, Willem Dafoe, Patrick Wilson, Dolph Lundgren, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, and Nicole Kidman. Directed by James Wan. The film itself is from 2018. Rated PG-13 and runs 143 minutes. Up next is the 2013 Blu-ray release of Argo, starring Ben Affleck, Bryan Cranston, Alan Arkin, and John Goodman. Here's the front, the back, and the spine. Directed by Ben Affleck. Electrically suspenseful, cunningly original true-life thriller, says David Gleiberman of Entertainment Weekly. The film itself is from 2012, rated R, and runs 120 minutes. Up next is the 2010 Blu-ray release of Armageddon, starring Bruce Willis, and directed by Jerry Bruckheimer. Here's the front, back, and the spine. Total complete fun from the beginning to the end, says WPIX TV. WPLX TV, New York. Also starring Billy Bob Thornton, Liv Tyler, Ben Affleck, Will Patton, Peter Stormare, Keith David, and Steve Buscemi. The film itself is from 1998, rated PG-13, and runs 151 minutes. Up next is the 2010 unrated extended cut Blu-ray release of the ATeam. Also includes the theatrical version. The best action film in years, says Box Office Magazine. Here's the front, back, spine. Starring Liam Neeson. Another one with Bradley Cooper, Jessica Biel, Quentin Rampage Jackson, Charlito Copley, and Patrick Wilson, directed by Joe Carnahan. The film itself is from 2010. Theatrical version is rated PG-13. And runs 119 minutes. Unrated extended version also runs 119 minutes. Interesting. Up next is the 2010 Blu-ray release of James Cameron's Avatar. Here's the front, the back, and the spine. Directed by James Cameron. And starring Sam Worthington, Zoe Saldana, Stephen Lang, Michelle Rodriguez, and Sigourney Weaver. The film itself is from 2009, rated PG-13, and runs 162 minutes. Up next is the 2008 Blu-ray release of Batman the Movie, special edition Blu-ray release, by the way, starring Adam West and Burt Ward. Here's the front, the back, and the spine. Also starring Lee Merriweather, Cesar Romero, Burgess Meredith, Frank Gorshin. Directed by Leslie H. Martinson. The film itself is from 1966, renewed in 1994, rated PG, and runs 105 minutes. Up next is the 2020 reprint Blu-ray reprint of Battleship. Here's the front, back, spine. A big, bold blast and explosively fun, says MSN Movies. It stars Taylor Kitsch, Alexander Skarsgård, Rihanna, Brooklyn Decker, Tadanobu Asano, and Liam Neeson. Directed by Peter Berg. The film itself is from 2012, rated PG-13, and runs 2 hours and 12 minutes. Up next is the 2017 Blu-ray release of Baywatch, the movie, extended cut, starring Dwayne Johnson and Zac Efron. Outrageous. Dwayne and Zac are a perfect comedy duo, says Jack Norman of Movie Pilot. Here's front, back, spine. Also starring, straight up hilarious fun, says Matthew Jessam of Men's Fitness. Also starring Alexandra Daddario and David Hasselhoff. Also directed by Seth Gordon. The film itself is from 2017, rated R, and runs 116 minutes. The unrated version runs 121 minutes. Up next is the 2017 Blu-ray release of the 2017 remake of Beauty and the Beast, starring Emma Watson, Dan Stevens, Luke Evans, Kevin Kline, Josh Gad, Ewan McGregor, Stanley Tucci, Audra McDonald, Batha Raw. Wait a minute. Hold on a minute on that one. Goo and Batha Raw with Ian McKellen and Emma Thompson. A tale as old as time, more magical than ever, says Mike Wilbur of MSNBC News. Here's the front, the back, and the spine. Directed by Bill Condon. The film itself is from 2017, rated PG and runs 129 minutes. Up next is the 2008 Blu-ray release of Beetlejuice, starring Michael Keaton. Here's the front, back, spine. Also starring Alec Baldwin, Gina Davis, Jeffrey Jones, Catherine O'Hara, and Winona Ryder. Directed by Tim Burton, the film itself is from 1988, rated PG and runs 92 minutes. Uproarious, irresistible, a dazzling display of director Tim Burton's unique pop culture sensibilities, says Kevin Thomas of LA Times. Up next is the 2011 Blu-ray release, 50th anniversary Blu-ray release of Ben-Hur. The original 1959 classic Ben-Hur, starring Charlton Heston, directed by William Wyler, winner of 11 Academy Awards, including 1959 Best Picture. Here's the front, the back, and the spine. Starring Charlton Heston, Jack Hawkins, Hiya Harriet, Stephen Boyd, Hugh Griffith, Martha Scott, Kathy O'Donnell, and Sam Jaff. Directed by William Wyler. The film itself is from 1959, rated G, and runs 222 minutes. Two more to go for this update. And next up is the 2016 Blu-ray release of the 2016 remake of Ben-Hur. Here's the front, the back, and the spine. Starring Jack Houston, Toby Cabell, Rodrigo Santoro, Nazanin Benyada, Alet Zurer, and Morgan Freeman. Directed by Timur Bekmambetov. The film itself is from 2016, rated PG-13, and runs 124 minutes. And last but not least is the 2018 Blu-ray release of Big Trouble in Little China, starring Kurt Russell and Kim Cattrall. Directed by John Carpenter. Here's the front, the back, and the spine. The film itself is from 1986, rated PG-13 and runs 99 minutes. Well, that's going to do it for this video, this week's Blu-ray DVD update, 2021 edition. Sunday, we will pick up where we left off at in part 8. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And we'll see you again. We'll see you again on Sunday. Bye-bye.